Hi guys, monkeysnuts.com here. This is going to be a short little vlog, a little bit about war. Now, I'm not too fond of wars, although I do understand the principles behind them. I mean, the Second World War, that was, that was pretty obvious really why it started. What caused it and stuff. Basically, the Germans were just getting out of control. They wanted to take everyone over and things like that. I mean, I'm not great at history, but I know the basic principles of what happens and things. Yeah, because there's been a World War I memorial thing set up online. There's been a lot of talk on the radio, basically, about in the news about the war, and about things relating to it. Maybe not the First World War, but just mainly war in general. Because me and my dad were listening to the radio earlier on, and they were comparing modern soldiers to soldiers who were in World War I, World War II. And there was a guy on from who'd been in World War II, and he was saying that there were big differences between them nowadays. So back then they kind of just got on with it. And I mean, yeah, they had like problems and things, but I think there was one person in the army who was going on. He was going on about he had some kind of not breakdown, but he ended up having some kind of disability. And he was going on about his legs being blown off and things like that. And this guy who was 71, no, not 71, 91, he was just saying that back then people just got on with it and they weren't concerned about money or anything like that now. And back in the Second World War, he was saying that he had to go up against the Germans, who were one of the fiercest groups of fighters anyone's ever seen. They had the fear of being attacked not only from ground but from air as well. They also had much less technology than they had nowadays. And they were also fearful of their families and friends at home getting bombed and things as well. In the UK, at home in the UK, that's one thing that soldiers nowadays don't necessarily have to be concerned about, because what are the chances of the UK being sort of bombed? I mean, they're very slim. I mean, yes, okay, there's terrorist bombing, but that's not necessarily related to war, and it's not necessarily the reason why we've got soldiers in Afghanistan, Iraq, all these related type of countries. I mean, they're kind of like the stereotypical places you think of when you think of war now, with modern war and where all the soldiers are. But I mean, obviously there were wars going on in the majority of Middle Eastern countries, but they're the main ones anyway. So yeah, I don't think I'd do well in a war. I mean, if I was a soldier and that, I'd probably be all right. shooting people, but I think that all the stress and all the mindset that you have to be in to be able to cope with those kind of things. It's I'm not going to chance it. It's a bit full on really, because you kind of just get thrown in there, and then all your friends and stuff just basically. I mean, it'd be sort of pretty bad to see them sort of go and just never be able to see them again like that. I mean, okay, not seeing someone for the rest of your life isn't the worst thing in the world, but I mean, seeing someone actually die right in front of you, it's kind of someone that you know, someone that you've been talking to for. I mean, these people that you're on base with, you've probably been with them the majority of your life through your training and things, so I think it must have a bit more of an impact on you really. I understand the principles behind war, I understand why we are in these countries, but to be honest, I don't understand the need for war, especially nowadays. I mean, technically, it isn't a war in Afghanistan and that. We're just going there to offer the actual country support. So, it's not technically a war. It might be a bit of a war zone, but no, I wouldn't say it's a full-on war. So yeah, I mean, I support the people who are in those countries, and I don't really know why people say that they're fighting for our country. We're not in a war with anyone, so it's kind of irrelevant saying that, but they're fighting for other countries, which I think is commendable, really. I mean, it's obviously not up to them where they go, it's up to the government, so the government are choosing where to base sanctions and things like that, but like I say, I wouldn't personally be interested in getting involved in anything. I mean, if we were in a situation where it was like the Second World War, where basically all the men had to go to war and women and children were allowed to stay in the country, I mean, obviously, I probably would go into war in that case, but I mean, that's only because they were all forced to do it then because of like the minimal numbers and things. I think we were outnumbered. I mean, when I say we, I mean the UK, Britain, France, and who else were? I mean, the Americans in the Second World War, they came in a bit after, didn't they? Just to offer us more support. But basically, everyone was outnumbered by the German forces. I mean, they just had so much strength in them to be able to push through all of our barricades and things. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna have another world war. Even if something catastrophic happens, we live in a society now where it's not that type of thing, really. Yeah, we live in a society where we won't be having another world war, full-on world war, where everyone in the country will be required. But I don't know, we might not. I just hope we don't, because that'll cause everyone's stress levels to go right up through the roofs. So yeah, been pretty much it. I doubt there's going to be anyone on YouTube who's actually lived through the Second World War, but There might be. I mean, like I was talking in my my technology vlog, elderly people use the internet and things, but I don't think a 90-odd-year-old person would be using the internet and be fluent in basically the uses of it. But be proven wrong. There's a big bit of poo there that I want to avoid. Yes, there we go. Go around it. So this has been monkeysnuts.com, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.